Hi there. One of the issues a lot of people face when they're replacing this gaiter is basically to get this gaiter over this flange here. Now I've come up with an idea to do this. And basically what I've done is I've bought one of these cone things that you get to stretch it over a constant velocity joint, and I've cut the top off, as you can see here. I've cut the bottom off so that this diameter here fits just over this this flange. So the idea is I'm going to slide this boot over this cone and over the flange. Now, before you actually do this, what you need to do is to work the rubber, get it used to expanding. So I've just got an old pickaxe handle here, and what I'm going to do is I just put the cone over the top here to lubricate the upper bit here, just inside. Don't lubricate it all the way down to the bottom, because what you actually want is you want to get a bit of grip, and if you've got grease everywhere it's really difficult to pull it down. So just put some grease on the top there, and then put your boot over and just work this down a few times like that. Do it again, just so that it gets used to expanding. Let's put it down over the top again, down the rubber, put it down. There we go. Do it a couple more times. There we go. There we go. Okay. Right. So that's kind of exercised the rubber. Now the thing is, we're ready now to put it over the boot, but there's a lot of grease. You'd really want to have just grease at the top and no grease. Because I've been pulling this over, there's now a lot of grease everywhere, and it's really difficult to grip. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the camera, get rid of all the grease around where I'm going to actually be pulling it, wash my hands, get it absolutely everything nice and clean. I'll put some grease at the top again, and then we should be ready to go. So I'll just pause the camera a second. Right, now I've got all the grease off the boot here, hands nice and clean. Now the first thing you need to do is preload the cone before you pull it over. Now the thing is, what you don't want to do is pull it too far. You need to make sure that the largest ring that's going to go over the flange here is just at the edge there. I think that's probably going to do it. Right. Probably can go one more. You want to make sure that's it. You don't want the second ring down here to go over the flange, because what happens is if it goes over, it shrinks. Sorry, you don't want this to go over the beyond the cone, because it shrinks, and then when you push it down, it will actually catch on the other side of the flange. So that should be just about right. What we've got to do now is put the cone over, make sure that the cone's nicely seated over the flange, like that. Looks like it is. Let's put this protector back on, and we can just grip the cone and pull down. And that's it. Done. So that's how to get a cone over the dust cap flange on a drive shaft for a P38.